She see money all around me. I look like I'm the man.
Okay, everybody, welcome to episode 2 of PokerMind. Today we are very, very lucky. We have Greg Tucker joining us today for an interview. So Greg Tucker is someone that I personally look up to in poker a lot. He is a legend of the game in South Africa. All around great guy. Also, it's good to keep in mind that he just busted the 100K and he's been kind enough to do this interview for us. So thank you so much for joining us, and really looking forward to see what he has to say. Okay, dude. So I guess let's start out by talking about the 100K. How did it go? Were there any significant hands that you played that you wish you could have maybe played differently, or any key hands that really determined the tournament for you?
I think day one went pretty well. We were so deep, so there was obviously a lot of play. Could really mix up the play a lot. It's also very table dependent within the table. So I think day one went pretty well. Day two started off, I think I started on 1.2, and it was probably the toughest table. I didn't really get into any nice spots. I did find a nice spot with Ahmed when he opened, and I flattered with ace queen on the button.
Oh yes, I remember this hand. You made it straight.
Yeah, and it came king jack X. No. Well, I flipped a gut shot, and I turned to straight. We fired all streets. The river did pair. I wasn't too worried about it. And he bet 83. I can't flat there. I just think that's so stupid. My hand's too strong. And I made it 211.
And how deep are you guys playing at this point?
I think probably there 400 bigs.
Okay, cool. So crazy.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I made it 211. He called. Obviously had it. I think he actually got quite unfortunate. I think he got running jacks. I'm not too sure what other hand he can have there. Could have been at ace jack. But that was a key spot.
Do you want to walk us through your exit hand? Well, the hand just before your exit hand, because that was quite a big hand and we didn't see all of that. So,
okay.
The one with the pocket eights and ace queen.
Okay, well, there was quite 5 hands before that. We were playing 5-handed. Mo was opening quite a lot, as he should be. He was a chip leader. Ali G opened under the gun, and Mo was 3 bets. I had 2 blackjacks in the small blind. I 4-bet to 720, leaving myself 25 bigs behind.
Okay, so in this situation when Nick opens and Mo opens and Nick
No. So Ali G opened.
Oh, Ali G opened.
Yeah.
And
Mo's 3-bet.
Mo's 3-bet. Okay, so at this point is Mo's been 3-betting a lot, and
that was a problem. But I can't. Obviously, I can't just flat there. That's the most retarded thing I've ever heard. I can't fold. So the plan was to 4-bet fold to a 5-bet shove. And 5-bet shove, he had kings. So at least I got away. And then 5 hands later, I had 8s. Nick opened 140 pre, flattered, came 10, 8, 4, 2 spades. I flopped middle set.
And are you in position or out of position at this point?
In position.
Okay.
So he bet 140 pre and he bet 300 on the flop. So obviously I want to get max value for my hands, and my thoughts at that stage, because his sizing was pretty significant. I think you can pick up a lot of, you can pick up someone's range on their bet sizing. So my thought process was hoping he had an overpair like queens, jacks, kings, aces. That's what I really did think he had, was his bet size. So I landed up shoving, going for max value.
Mm-hmm. How big was your shove?
1.5.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, so I really went for max value, and he snapped. And I turned over 8s like a good thing. And he turned over a flush draw, which obviously I didn't want to see that. And he rivered a flush.
Yeah, it's not the worst spot. Equity-wise, you're in a really good spot for a lot of chips. Yeah. I guess it's always it's not good getting in for basically your tournament life against the draw. But all in all, I'm sure you don't regret how you play that hand.
No, that's the thing. Any tournament I play, if I go out on a hand like that, I'll be upset for 2 or 5 minutes, and then I get over it. Although this was a 100K buy-in, great value, great structure. But I'm fine. There's so many more tournaments to play this week.
Do you want to be on the? I think you want to be in. Yeah.
But yeah, so I mean, there's nothing I can do there in that spot. As I said, I went for max value, and I thought I got max value.
Okay, cool.
So yeah, I mean, that's all she wrote, I suppose.
And so out of the tournaments, out of the players left in the tournament, who are you backing? Who do you think's playing really well? What are your thoughts on the people that are going to do well?
I think Moaz will do very well. I think his ability in the game, his post-up game is, for me, probably the best in the country.
Okay, wow, that's a big compliment.
Yeah. Although I like Mo. I hope Jared goes the distance. I think Jared's a phenomenal player. Definitely on a different level. But I mean, there's Eugene. Eugene's been on
He's been killing.
retarded form over the last 6 months, and he's a phenomenal player. So yeah, I think it'll be out of the three of them. I'm back in Saudi.
Okay, cool. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a good bet.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So now into just a bit more about your poker story, man. Like, what got you into poker? Like, what is it about poker that you love? Like, why do you play? Are you still playing full time? Like, what's happening in the life of Greg Tucker?
Well, I don't play full time anymore. I think I stopped playing full time maybe like 3-4 years ago. I do enjoy the game. I got into it, I think like everyone does, someone says come play poker at the house, okay cool, 20 rand fees out, which got to 50 rand rebars, 100 rand fees out. And
High stakes.
yeah, high stakes. Well, my high stake, I remember back in the day, I used to have 500 rand buy-ins here, and I was very, very nervy to play. And I went out like the fourth hand, and I was just like, I was just like in disarray. I was so upset. But yeah, that's how you got to start. You have to start small, work yourself up. I know there's been a lot of players that just jumped straight into it. And yeah, like I think back then I played a lot of satellites. I still do play satellites. There's so much value in it.
Yeah.
I mean, I won half my seats in this tournament by satellite. And yeah, just steadily climbed up. So yeah, I mean, it was really awesome to play 100k.
I remember we spoke once. I think this was just after you won the high roller. Was it in 2017 or 2016?
2016, yeah.
I remember we spoke and you said that your goal in poker was to like cash $1 million, and you did that. Do you feel like you are done with poker, or do you feel like you have other like goals and big aspirations that you want to get to in the game?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I went to Vegas 2 years ago for the first time. It was an amazing experience. I said I ever bust day one, which I never get upset if I bust. But busting in the main event day one was just so brutal. I had small cashes. I came third in a turbo there. So I mean, I've been to Vegas, Australia, I've been to Europe. I would like to go to World Series Poker Europe this year. It's a big possibility.
Amazing.
Yeah, so I mean, I'd like to play in that. I would obviously like to win a very big main event. I've only won one small main event. So yeah, I think that would be my goal to do something awesome in like a big EPT, WPT overseas, Vegas, Europe. But no, I still enjoy the game.
Okay, so as a poker player, what do you think is one of the most important skills? Or because every time I ask people, they have different opinions on this. So, in your opinion, what is one of the best skills, or like one of the most important characteristics you need to be a successful poker player?
I mean, I think obviously understanding the game is very important. But for me, I go on a lot of intuition. I mean, there's so many things in the game, so many things that you can pick up with. I mean, I was speaking to a good friend of mine who's been out this circuit for the last 2 years, but to me, I think if he came back, he would still smash it. Greg Donaldson, he's helped me so much with my game. I mean, even though he doesn't play anymore, that's just due to marriage, a child, a lot of work. He's moved to Durban. He'll be back, though. I know he will. He's helped me a lot with so many things that you don't realize, and it also helps to verbalize and speak to someone about certain spots. I think intuition, there's a lot of things with amateur players, like betting size, stack size. I mean, I think in a tournament like this, when there's a lot of good players, I like to try to keep the variance a little bit lower. It depends how the table's playing. I mean, yesterday I was playing at Ahmed's table, and yeah, I mean, he was opening probably like 60% of pots. So in that situation, you have to adjust.
So okay, this is a great spot for a question. So when you're playing against very aggressive opponents, because I mean, not often do most of the people watching, I suppose, play like in situations where there's a lot of like 3-betting, like very aggressive opponents. What ways would you suggest that one should adjust to playing against an opponent that's being very aggressive at the table?
Well, I mean, I started off and I knew Ahmed was going to be opening a lot of hands as he does. And I think there was twice I 3-bet me 4 games. And I folded. And then I just thought to myself, okay, I think better I had the position on him. So I could just rather flat a lot. That's what I did, like I mean, with the ace-queen hand. And so yeah, I think it just really depends at your table and how you adjust to it. And that's how I adjusted. The table was very aggressive, so I mean, I kind of, you can play aggressive back, but then it's just like a big swimming competition, excuse my language. I mean, you're so deep, you don't really have to get into those kind of situations.
Absolutely.
So yeah, it was just more or less of 3-betting the weak players, flatting more aggressive players like Ahmed, and just finding nice spots, defending quite a wide range. Because I mean, you're so deep. I mean, you can literally call 8-2 suited in a big blind when you start with 1,000 beats. So yeah, I mean, there's just so many things, just really player dependent, who's on your table, and yeah, just, I mean, sit back and just kind of chill and see what's going on, who's playing, and how they're playing. Try to get to showdowns with the players that you like. You know, like sometimes it's just very hard, you know, like the players always, you know, like Gio's a very difficult player as well. He always like wrecking the nuts.
Very aggressive player.
Yeah, he's good in that sense as well. So it's hard, you know, if there's like a 4-card straight and you've got a set, he will put you in. So spots like that.
So something I've noticed from just speaking with you is how you can recognize the strengths in your opponents and like adjust to those things.
Yeah.
I think what a lot of people do is when an opponent's doing something that makes them uncomfortable, they immediately just like, oh, that guy's so bad, or like they just have an emotional reaction. I think it's very cool that you can recognize that as a strength in their game, and then you can adjust your game accordingly. I think that's really cool.
Well, also like mental strength, and I mean, I've had this for the last like year and a half. I've got like a life coach. And it's not, I mean, it is more for poker, that poker aspect, but just also just in general life. I see you do a lot of like awesome stuff, spiritual stuff, which I think is quite important. You can't come into a poker tournament with a negative mind, negative attitude, and I see a lot of even the top players, they just don't have a good energy, and I think that sometimes works against them. So like as I said, I've got a really, really, really awesome life coach.
Amazing.
Beyond Chris, you can go check him out.
Shout out to Beyond Chris.
Yeah, at Beyond Chris, Instagram. So yeah, he's helped me a lot. So I mean, I as I said, I still enjoy poker. I always will. So I mean, I do come for the enjoyment, and obviously the money is up there as well. And yeah, it's just a good mental battle. So I mean, I enjoy that side of it.
Cool. So is there anything that's like on your mind regarding poker, life, like anything that you want to share with the audience? I mean, like the show is called Poker Mind, so is there just like anything you want to get off your chest, good, bad, just like anything you want to speak about?
I mean, nothing that comes to mind. I have been playing for the last 3 days, busted now, but I feel fine. I mean, I don't have a negative attitude now or anything. I mean, I think for poker in general, you do have your elite poker players, and there's obviously a lot of people coming up through the ranks, and I've noticed it a lot, which I disagree with it. And I mean, I'm not pinpointing anyone, but there are people I feel with the wrong attitude.
How so?
I don't know, just like, you know, yes, we do, I think over the last couple of years have developed a lot of good players. I mean, back in the day it was Greg Carnelson that just crushed everything. Solly's been there from day one. Kramer's back. I mean, he hasn't really lost much of it. He's still finding a good player, you know, Moores and him. But I'm not pointing out those players, but I just feel, you know, and I've seen it a lot, that just be humble, man. there's a lot of I feel like arrogance in some players, and I mean I don't appreciate it much. But yeah, there's sometimes where the players only been playing for a year, and I mean we were all there one stage. So yes, they're going to make a lot of mistakes, and they're going to make a mistake and get lucky. But you know, like the needle to them, or like, are you so bad?
I've noticed that. I've noticed like the subtle underhanded comments that people do make. It's yeah.
So I mean, I really that's one thing in poker I don't like. I don't like the people that have got this like bad persona because they're on a pedestal. Yeah, I mean, there's so many cool people in this community, and yeah, I'm just about like you kind of got to be humble and just be nice to people and help them in situations where maybe they don't understand, as opposed to telling them how bad they are.
Yeah, 100%. Okay, cool. So I have one personal question to ask you about poker. So I find for myself personally, like when I go deep into tournaments, as you progress through a poker tournament, the pressure increases and also your focus increases. And there's no way of knowing when it's going to stop. So I have trouble that like when you go deep, even if you win a tournament, it's like pressure, concentration, and then boom, it's all gone. Like you have nothing to do. How do you snap out of that mode and like just get back to feeling normal?
I watched something on Instagram the other day, as I do follow you. You've got interesting stuff, and you did make a comment about that. I think going out of the tournament at a late stage, like at night, like 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, it's tough. And what do? Do you hang around? Do you rail? Do you go for a smoke? I don't know. But I think just speaking to like people that have mentioned help me with my game, like Greg's helped me so much. Lamberti as well. He's also he's an accomplished player, but does very, very well on the Sunday Sands tournaments, which is basically a short stack game, where short stack is opposed not necessarily my strongest point. He's helping with that. I speak to Dave Rosenthal that just come back as well. He disappeared for 3 years, came back and won the high roller, which was pretty awesome.
Amazing, unbelievable, bozo.
So I mean, I speak to those guys a lot. I've got my life coach here right now, and yeah, normally what I do is I'll go chill at home with my dogs or something, just kind of get back into it. I mean, like there's a tournament later on tonight. I definitely won't play it. I think it'll just be suicide. But yeah, that is a tough question. I don't know. As I said, I'll just speak to my friends, coach, chill with my dogs. Just you got to take it easy. But it is a good question. I wouldn't know how to answer that spot on.
Okay, cool, fair.
Good question. Tough answer. I don't know.
Okay, cool. And then finally, for everyone that's viewing, like people that poker players that want to come up in the ranks, people that want to be the next Greg Tucker, play in the 100Ks, win high rollers. What advice would you give to up and coming players, or just like anyone that's playing poker and really wants to move up to the higher stakes?
I just think there's so much information out there on YouTube. Poker sites. I mean, back in the day on PokerStars, I don't know if they still got it because I don't play PokerStars anymore. But there's the final table of like the big ones of the W Cube series.
Yeah, they still stream those for sure.
They stream those, and I mean, you get to see the insight to the top online pros. There's EPTs, WPTs, there's books. But I think the most important thing, if you play in a lower stakes, you can satellite in so easily, as opposed to, you've just started playing 10Ks, obviously a heavy high-in or something, and then you lose, and that puts you on the back burner. I think satelliting tournaments is so important. I think that's a very important starting point for any poker player that's coming up.
Yeah, cool, guys. So the key is, if you want to play tournaments, you just got to satellite in. Like there's a guy in the super high roller.
Justin.
No, I think Rohan. Man, yes, yeah. He was in for 1500, so that's really cool.
That is cool.
Anyway, thank you very much, Tucker. This has been an amazing interview. Guys, thank you for watching episode 2 of PokerMind. Greg Tucker, amazing poker player. Hope you guys learned something. Thank you very much for watching, and thanks for the interview, bro.
Cool, dude. Thanks, mate.
She see money all around me. I look like I'm the man.